Hey everyone, happy Thursday. Game 3 kicks off tonight between the Edmonton Oilers and the Florida Panthers of the Stanley Cup Finals. I can hardly wait. Now, we all know the Panthers are up 2-0 in this series, and that is a huge blow against the Edmonton Oilers. They were hoping to split those games down in Florida, and their backs are definitely against a wall tonight, taking on the Florida Panthers. Now, thankfully for them, I think Florida's travel plans really are going to hinder them tonight. They took off over 3 hours after they had planned, and I still don't understand why they waited till Wednesday. They had weather issues, so getting in 3 hours later than expected later last night. 22 hours before this puck drops. With the time difference change, 2-hour time difference, and a 6-hour flight, I think it was a wrong move by the Florida Panthers. Now we'll have to wait and see if this will affect this team, but I'm looking at that total, and I do think it will affect the defense and Bobrovsky out here. We saw the defense struggle off of a week's rest, and I do think with those travels, we'll see the defense a little bit slower out there versus the Edmonton Oilers. I'm going to take the over 5.5 in this one. Let's just look at current odds, you guys. I'm going to pull them up right now on FanDuel, making sure nothing has changed. The Florida Panthers coming in at plus 114, minus 137 on the Edmonton Oilers, and that total 5.5. Now you are getting plus money to the over at plus 106, and that's exactly where I'm going to go. Edmonton is trying to go high on Bobrovsky. That's exactly where they need to go. I know they were able to get that one goal through his 5-hole in that last game, but that's not Bobrovsky's weakness. He's so strong on that 5-hole. They need to shoot it high, and we saw them hit that crossbar a couple times last game. So I expect that style of shots to come on Bobrovsky in this one. The defense of the Florida Panthers is phenomenal in front of him. Bobrovsky won them the game in game 1. So it's not going to be easy here for the Edmonton Oilers to get these goals. But we look at Edmonton at home, you guys, and this is a team that has been scoring at home. They've been phenomenally strong on their home ice, and they've scored 2 or more goals in all 9 of their playoff games at Rogers Place. I'm looking for that trend to continue here. But if Edmonton's scoring, I tell you, Florida is answering right back. We haven't seen Matthew Tkachuk with that anytime goal yet, and I do think he comes to play in this one. He's coming in at plus 230. Now, someone I've been keeping my eye on and that I do expect to be pivotal in this game for Florida is Brandon Montour. Brandon Montour for the point tonight at plus 164. Heck of value there for the anytime goal at plus 600. Sign me up. I've been riding him during the playoffs for those goals, for those points. And tonight I do feel is a strong night to look at Brandon Montour for the anytime goal at plus 600 or the point at plus 164. Either way, you're going to get some money in this one. I'm also looking at the goal in the first 5 minutes. I'm expecting one of these teams to, again, score on their first shot on goal. In game 1, it was the Florida Panthers who scored on their first shot. On game 2, it was the Edmonton Oilers who scored on their first shot. And that was their only shot on, or any only goal of that game, with Ekholm getting the goal, if I can talk here. So I am looking for that power to come out right away. Edmonton knows their backs are against the wall. Now, Connor McDavid absolutely has to come out strong. Connor McDavid for the anytime goal, it's now sitting at plus 135. I'm on it. Now, do we think Connor McDavid can get a hat trick? Because Connor McDavid for the hat trick is plus 5,000. This is his first Stanley Cup game in front of a home crowd. Very first. He's never been here before, and I do think Connor McDavid, with how strong he is, he could hit Bobrovsky, and if Bobrovsky gets rattled, that hat trick at plus 5,000, it's not out of the question. Leon Draisaitl is looking pretty banged up, so I don't think those goals are going to come from Leon Draisaitl. And you got to know Connor McDavid wants to be the center of the attention at home. I don't care what anyone says. I know he wants to win, but he also wants the credit there. Now, Corey Perry is going to be injected back into this lineup, and we know what happened versus Dallas. When Corey Perry and Ryan McLeod were ejected back into the lineup, Scott Wetzel and I were live on In-Game Live, and right away we said, Corey Perry for the point tonight. They were not offering it over on FanDuel. He was able to, right away, as soon as that line came out, Ryan McLeod got the goal and Corey Perry got the assist. He's going to come out strong tonight. You got to remember his playoff experiences. And I question why he's had such limited playtime during the playoffs. They brought him in for this reason. Now, Evan Bouchard here will get more playtime tonight with Darnell Nurse out. He had 2 shots on goal in the last game, 4 shots in game 1. His anytime goal for Evan Bouchard is coming in at plus 450. You guys, like I said, I really do expect those goals tonight. He had 1 goal versus Dallas. He had 4 versus Vancouver and 1 versus the Kings. He's yet to score here versus the Florida Panthers. So I do think Evan Bouchard is someone to look at. I think that's all of the props that I'm taking in this matchup. Brandon Montour, Matthew Tkachuk, Connor McDavid, Corey Perry, and Evan Bouchard. I just think Leon Draisaitl is pretty banged up. So Barkov will be out there on the ice, and so will Tarasenko. Barkov's not going to be at 100%. This is why I'm going big on Connor McDavid tonight, because Barkov, best two-way player in the league. He's all over Connor McDavid. I think Connor McDavid will be a step or 2 in front of him tonight. Barkov's not going to be at 100%. You've also got to look at the big 4 for Edmonton have yet to score tonight in front of their home crowd. Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, Evan Bouchard, and Zach Hyman. These guys can and will get on the board. Florida is a better all-over team, but I don't like what they did with travel. If the Florida Panthers pull off this win tonight, I tell you, the sweep is in. I just think Edmonton will be heartbroken, and they won't have the mental capacity to get over a Game 3 loss. I do think Game 3 here is do or die. I think we get the best out of Edmonton. The best out of Edmonton, in my mind, equals goals. And that's why I'm taking the over 5.5. The goal in the first 5 minutes as well, plus 200. And then let's see which goaltender can play a better game. I really do think Edmonton gets the win tonight. My problem with Edmonton in this one right now is they're minus 137 on the money line. There is no way I can bet Edmonton at minus 137. I think the Florida Panthers have all the value. Again, live betting situation for both of these teams. Whichever team goes up, coming back on the other team. I think this is a game that absolutely could go to overtime. That's coming in at plus 330 as well. Absolutely, Chris. Just shoot me over a message. Brandon, nice to see you here. You know what? It is a big deal, though. There's a long flight for Florida. I actually think, when you really think about it, the travel on Edmonton, they had to fly down to Florida, which is a 6-hour flight. They had to fly back. So, and then they've lost 2 games, and the mental capacity there in that. I think the travel on Edmonton is just as much as on Florida. I think that will lead to their defense breaking down in some of these games. Takes this game. You think Florida takes this game 3-1. I tell you, if the sweep is in Edmonton, I like Edmonton tonight. That's a good one there, Rick. I like where you're going with that. I think if Florida gets this, it's going to be done, in my opinion. It's going to be just like we're seeing in the NBA. I don't see us going to Game 5 if the Florida Panthers take it tonight. And I'm going to be a little selfish. I'm really hoping this one goes all the way to 6. I'm hoping the Edmonton Oilers really can stand up in this game. Their power play has yet to convert. We know this is one of the deadliest power plays in the whole league. Bobrovsky has been absolutely elite. For Edmonton to win tonight, they've got to hope Bobrovsky isn't up to par. He has a save percentage of 916 here in the playoffs. Skinner at a 896, so his save percentage just isn't high enough for me to back an under in this matchup if I think Edmonton's going to score. But you guys, all the best in all your bets. Thanks so much for joining me here on Puck It with Joe. I will be live on Game Time Decisions this afternoon at 7 o'clock Eastern, so make sure you come over and join me, and then I'll be jumping on In-Game Live with the guys. That is at 8:32 Eastern. So come on over. It's going to be a lot of fun. I think the upset, who's the upset, though, in your opinion? I think if Edmonton wins, that is more of an upset than the Florida Panthers winning, because Florida has shown their dominance. In Game 1, it was Bobrovsky who stole on that. Edmonton did play a better game. In Game 2, that was absolute dominance by the Florida Panthers. Their defense held the Edmonton Oilers in the first and second period to a total of 7 shots on goal. Edmonton was able to answer back in the third with 12 shots on goal. They found a way to get there. But again, Bobrovsky standing on his head. So in my opinion, it's more of an upset if the Florida Panthers lose this game, and the books have the Edmonton Oilers as a favorite. Again, at that juice, I can't bet Edmonton at that price. I will bet them, live betting them, if Florida goes up first, and we can get plus money on the Edmonton Oilers. But also, if the Edmonton Oilers go up first in this one, and we can get the Florida Panthers +1.5 with great value at like +110, I'll be all over it. So Barkov is back on the ice. And yes, Billy, Barkov is back on the ice, but the problem here is Barkov's not at 100%. He is the best two-way player of the league all day long, but Connor McDavid having a one step on him will be a difference maker in here. You guys, all the best in all of your bets. I will be back for the next game. So make sure you join me Saturday. We will do a Puck It with Joe. So turn on those notifications. If you could hit that like button, hit that retweet. Don't forget, CFL is on tonight. Last week, all of the dogs were barking. The only dog we didn't ride with was Toronto. The Argos versus the BC Lions. We were riding with BC Lions props. BC came out and fell flat. Vernon Adams Jr. still had a great day, but Toronto way too strong for them. The Blue Bombers and the Ottawa Red Blacks are in action tonight, so go over, check out my video. Let's see what we're betting. There's an MLB Cup of Joe out as well. Joe, it's nice to see your name pop up. Have a good one, you guys. I will talk to you Saturday. Bye.